Okay, here we are. Um, the gender tags. This is my gender tag, and the gender tag is sort of like a YouTube project that's supposed to chronicle the human experience with gender and with regards to sort of like what that means to you personally. So it's a series of questions. I'm sure if you're seeing this, it's probably because you also follow Adam Coble, and I'm following his inspiration here. So let's. Oh, actually, I should preface this. So, preface. This video is about my own experiences with gender. I'm not an expert. I don't claim to be an expert on it. This is strictly my own encounters and experience. This is all through the lens of me. So there. So let's begin. Question 1. How do you self-identify your gender? And what does that definition mean to you? Well, I identify as a male, as a man, and it's the same gender I was kind of born with, same as my sex. And what that means to me is it means I think I have it easiest in society, and that bothers me because I'm basically allowed to do whatever I want without ever being like, he's a man, blah blah blah. But there's also this sort of like societal dichotomy to men where you're kind of told that you have a blank check and you're free to just be a person and do whatever you want, while at the same time you're also told though, like, hey, you know, your feelings and emotions, zip, just don't do it. Which is weird because on one hand you're told you can do whatever you want, but by that same person says that you also can't do other things. So what do? So I kind of always lived my life following the do whatever you want and that empowerment than fear. I've always been someone who kind of confides in my close friends, especially close male friends, about my like emotional state and my emotional feelings. I'll be one of the first people to be like, hey, I can't tell you how much it means to me that you're here listening to me, just letting me confide in you, and I cherish it. I cherish you. So that's just a big part of who I am. So to me, I maybe challenge that and as like the normal societal male standard versus what I do. But anyways, moving on to what pronouns honor you. So, male pronouns for me, please. He, him, his. Next question. Question 3 is describe the style of clothing that you most often wear. Okay. So I wear pretty conservative clothing, strictly conservative masculine clothing. Like my work requires me to wear business casual. So that's kind of been my style, and that's been my style since early high school, or early college, where that's kind of been what I was expected to at my office. So my style kind of drifted or gravitated towards that. So funny story. There's a guy, one of the Math Squad members was streaming The Sims, and I probably spent about an hour and a half about what clothes my sim should be wearing. I don't know. That's just who I am. I'm really conscious about what I'm wearing. My favorite types of clothes are anything that's sort of like Americana style, so like things that are rugged, durable, timeless. My 2 favorite things that I own are my boots. I own this awesome pair of burgundy boots. Love them. The Red Wings, 10 out of 10. And I also wear a olive pea coat, which is just it's my favorite coat. I'm just waiting for it to get colder here, so I can get it out of the closet. what's interesting for me about my gender and my clothes is that at a very early age, my clothes and my clothes style was sort of dictated to me by my older sister, who was who's 6 years older than me, and was really into fashion. So she kind of like Cardinal Richelieu'd any sort of like fashion decision I had growing up. And I learned very early on that what you wear says a lot about you, or it can. It's a way to express who you are. So for that was a good thing. But as far as my experience with clothes and gender is that so my sister was dressing me, and she was dressing me in a way to be like, hey, this is what society likes. This is what like the other sex would like as well. They would find that you are fashionable. But with this intention in mind, I thought I would dress well, but my male peers would be like, you look gay, and I was sometimes teased for that. So this was kind of the first time I experienced a sort of I entered the conversation of gender and sexuality and societal norms, based on just the math not adding up. Because if I'm dressing the way I'm being told to dress, why are other people telling me that it's wrong? I learned it was very complicated. So, anyways, yeah, I could really talk about fashion a lot. Probably too much. I know a lot about fashion, especially male fashion. Specifically, like anything from a J. Crew catalog. So, anyways, I think any further conversation about my fashion and likes and dislikes or anything like that's probably outside the scope of this video. So we're going to go to question 4. So question 4 is, talk about your choices with body hair. How do you style your hair? Do you have facial hair? What do you choose to shave or choose not to shave? So this is probably a more interesting question for someone who's like a non-cis or just straight up female than a cis male. Because as a cis male, I'm basically allowed to do whatever I want and never really had any serious considerations of this and what it means for gender. Because I'm just basically given a blank check. But for me right now, what's interesting is that this is the first time I've ever grown a beard in my life. It's a little patchy. It's still, it's only 2 months in. But hey, I kind of like it. I'm gonna let it see. Just gonna let it play out, let it marinate a little bit. I still shave my neckline. As you can see, I probably need to do it again. Whatever. Everywhere else on my body, I don't shave anything else. I might trim things that are too long or unruly. But okay, I think that's enough about my body hair. So let's talk about actual hair. So yeah, I style my hair like so. Sort of, to the side. I really like my hair. I think it's probably my strongest asset as a human being, in terms of charisma. And fun fact, at PAX Prime this year, Stephen Lumpkin, Silent Osiris, when I met him, the first words out of his mouth were, "Hey, nice hair." So shout out to you, Stephen, and thank you for your hair game, recognizing hair game. So yeah, I just really love my hair. So anyways, we're moving on. Let's talk about cosmetics and if I choose to wear makeup. Do I paint my nails? What types of soaps or perfumes do I use? So, I don't wear any makeup, nor do I paint my nails. And as far as soaps goes, I just use body wash. I have regular Dove soap as well. I prefer scents that don't smell like teenager or high school locker room. So no Axe or anything like that. I just have some bland store male fragrance body wash, like Nivea, something, I don't know. Um, but that doesn't disclose my full experience with makeup, however. Um, so in high school, I used to get a lot more acne than I do now, and I would use foundation to kind of mitigate the damage that acne causes to my complexion. Um, not ashamed of it, but that's really my only personal experience with using makeup. Oh no, actually, there I have a funny story. So for a birthday gift one year, a friend of mine, he was turning, I think, 27, and he's a big board gamer. And all of our friends got together, and we thought that we would make him a customized version of this card game called Love Letter, where we're all the characters. So I was picked or randomly chosen. I'm not really sure. I just got an email saying this is what I was doing. So, anyways, I was selected to be the handmaiden, which was pretty interesting. So I showed up to this girl's house. A bunch of people were already there. And 3 makeup artist friends basically dressed me up head to toe in a nice dress, like tailored to fit me. Like, it's pretty awesome. Um, wow. And all I gotta say is, if you haven't experienced putting on makeup, it is crazy. There are so many sharp things going close to your eyes, like pure eyeball too, because you're like doing when I'm like, that kind of weird, like just matte exposure. Just weird, crazy. It's a lot of work. So, next question: have you experienced being misgendered? If so, how often? No. No, I haven't been. No one's ever thought of me as a woman before. I guess I don't know. I just don't really have any experience with it. Sorry. Next question. Do you experience dysphoria, and how does that affect you? Well, I kind of think this might actually mean dysmorphia, and what this question is trying to ask is, like, have you ever experienced something that you're not a big fan of in terms of your physical body? So yeah. For me, it's kind of like my hips and thighs. I kind of have like thunder thighs ish from all my time playing soccer and being a runner. I guess just my build is that's kind of where I keep a lot of my weight, and in a way that makes my shoulders and chest never broad. So even when I like decided and committed to going to the gym and losing all this weight, I still felt scrawny, like my shoulders weren't expanded enough. And I still don't think I have broad enough shoulders, but I don't know. So question 8. Let's talk about children. Are you interested in having children? Would you want to carry a child if that were an option for you? Do you want to be the primary caretaker for any children you may have? So children, no thanks. As a gender thing, males my age, so like around right before 25, I'm not really even allowed to even look at other people's kids, like in a weird, like, like strangers' children. Just like, I don't know. I have almost no experience with kids. I don't even experience that many kids that are like relatives or like, nieces or nephews or what have you. So I don't know. But if you're someone who wants kids and that's something you're into, great. I'm not really about children. I feel like I'm probably not emotionally ready for them. I don't know. I feel like I have a lot more to do before I can commit my life to another life like that. And I don't know if I'll ever be ready to commit my own life to raising another life like that. I don't know. So let's talk about money. Number 9. Is it important to you to provide for a family financially? If you choose to have one, is it important to you to earn more money than any partner you may have? Do you prefer to pay for things like dates? Are you uncomfortable when others pay for you or offer to pay for you? Oh, so money? Yeah, money's pretty important to me. Self-sufficiency is something that is a big trait of mine. It's something that I really, really felt is a core part of me. Um, it's a trait that I look in myself for strength. It's something I look for in my friend group. It's something I look for in romantic partners. Autonomy, independence, strong self-identity, I think might also be another way of putting it. Um, Anyways, typically that goes hand in hand with having a job that earns you money. But I don't know. Maybe it's a job that maybe it's your passion that doesn't earn a lot of money, but you're hardworking. Like, that's fine. I feel like as long as you're putting forth effort into something that you're committed, that you love, it's good. So money's not a big issue. What's a bigger issue is knowing what you like, I guess, and being willing to achieve your goals or or strive towards achieving them. So if your goal means you earn less money than me, I don't care. More money than me, awesome. It doesn't matter for me. So here's an interesting dynamic. So my girlfriend and I, we just moved across the country. We just moved to Seattle from Philly, on the East Coast, and she took probably the biggest financial chunk of the burden for this trip. No, she definitely did, and that's because basically, if I would contribute even the same amount, I would have basically wiped out all of my savings, and she was the one who got the job before I did out here. So if I'm not gonna lie, I still felt vulnerable even though we talked about it, but I didn't feel vulnerable because of the money discrepancy. I think I felt vulnerable because I was no longer independent. So unfortunately, or fortunately, I'm not sure, leaning towards unfortunately, that money and independence kind of go hand in hand here in terms of like freedom and luxuries, at least in America. So that's almost inextricably tied, that it's very hard to talk about one without the other. But anyways, yeah, that vulnerability wasn't very nice. But I didn't really contribute that to gender. Because I feel like if the shoe was on the other foot, I would be doing the same thing for her. That's just how it is. I always offer to pay on the first dates. It's just something I do. I don't insist. If you want to pay for half, great. If you don't, that's cool. No big deal. So last question. Anything else you want to share about your experience with gender? No, but this has just been a really fun experience. Sharing my some intimacies. This is like, hi internet. This is this heart that I have right here. Here you go. Yeah, you like, so. I don't know. This was probably boring because I'm kind of a straight white cis male who has a kind of boring job and doesn't really do that many interesting things. But I don't know. Gender is still an important topic to be discussed. So I strongly encourage anyone who watches this video to go ahead and consider doing one yourself. Yeah. So thank you guys. Take care.